starseed from Gaia, your face is not accidental. It carries a signature of the mission your soul came here to fulfill. And the high beings are calling you to recognize it now. I am Ophelia, emissary of the Galactic Federation, bringing an urgent message from the Arcturian Council for this exact moment of your activation. By the end of this transmission, you'll understand exactly how to unlock starseed potential and recognize the hidden meaning behind what your presence awakens in others. But here's the first revelation. Your face is not merely appearance. It is part of the energetic identity your soul chose to reveal on Earth. You didn't find this message by mistake. Your soul called this in, and something within you is ready to remember. Open your awareness quickly. Like this transmission to signal to your star family, I'm ready. Subscribe if your mission is activating, and comment 9999 if your cosmic remembrance is returning. This isn't just a message, it's a point of reconnection. Your soul's been waiting for this. You're not here by accident. If you feel something opening inside you, and you sense that this message is asking you to go deeper, the companion Arcturian Awakening ebook is available through the first pinned comment. Let it meet you gently, not as something you must force yourself to believe, but as a guide for reflection, remembrance, and conscious alignment. Return to it when the noise becomes quiet and you feel ready to listen beneath the surface. Because what you have been calling insecurity may not be insecurity at all. It may be the discomfort of carrying a presence that has not yet been fully understood. For years, you may have looked at your face and seen only the features you were taught to judge. You noticed the lines, the asymmetry, the tiredness, the expressions you could not control. You compared yourself to images designed to be consumed, edited, and approved. You learned to measure your worth through reflections, reactions, and passing opinions, as though the surface of your body could determine the depth of your soul. But the higher intelligences observing your journey do not read your face the way human conditioning reads a face. They read the field behind it. They read the eyes that have witnessed what you were never able to explain. They read the tension held in your jaw from years of remaining silent when your inner knowing was already speaking. They read the softness that survived experiences that could have closed you completely. They read the light that appears when you speak about something real, the shift in your expression when you recognize a truth, the subtle change in your gaze when a memory from beyond this identity begins moving through you. They notice the moments when your face becomes still because something ancient within you has recognized itself. They notice the way your eyes move toward the horizon when your thoughts travel beyond the immediate world. They notice how your expression changes when you are near trees, water, music, children, animals, or anyone whose energy does not require you to perform. These small changes may seem invisible to the ordinary eye, but the subtle field is always responding. Nothing about you is truly without meaning. Even the silence in your face can carry a language. Your face is not merely an appearance. It is an interface between your inner frequency and the world around you. It is one of the first places your energy becomes visible. Before you speak, your field is already communicating. Before you explain your story, your presence has already entered the room. And this is why certain people may have reacted to you without understanding why. Some felt drawn to your energy. Others felt challenged by it. Some projected their own unhealed perceptions onto you because your presence reflected something they had spent years avoiding within themselves. Do not confuse their reaction with your identity. There are people who will only recognize what fits inside their familiar frequency. When they encounter someone whose energy carries depth, sensitivity, or unusual perception, they may attempt to reduce that person to a surface description. They may call you intense, distant, strange, emotional, intimidating, or difficult to read. But often, what they are experiencing is not a flaw in you. It is the sensation of standing near a signal they have not learned how to interpret. A person who is accustomed to shallow water may feel threatened by the ocean, not because the ocean is hostile, but because its depth cannot be controlled by the mind that approaches it. In the same way, someone may label you complicated when they are simply unable to remain present with everything your energy reveals. Someone may call you too quiet because your silence does not offer them an easy role to play. Someone may call you too much because your presence awakens a feeling they would rather keep sleeping. The Arcturian teachings describe this as distortion between the visible form and the encoded field. The visible form is what the world sees first. The encoded field is what the soul has been carrying through every chapter. When those two layers are misunderstood, you begin to believe that your task is to change your appearance so others can feel comfortable. You alter your expression, you hide your intensity. You make yourself smaller in photographs, conversations, relationships, and dreams. You begin performing a version of yourself that creates less resistance. And slowly, the original signal becomes difficult for you to hear. You may become so skilled at adjusting your face that you no longer know what it looks like when it is at peace. You may smile when you are uncomfortable, nod when you disagree, and offer reassurance when you are the one who needs to be held. You may study the emotional weather of every room before allowing yourself to feel anything. This adaptation may once have protected you, but a survival strategy can become a prison when it is never released. This is one of the reasons so many starseeds experience periods of disconnection. It is not always because they lack spiritual awareness. Sometimes they have become over-adapted to the expectations of the environment around them. They learned how to be acceptable before they learned how to be acceptable, before they learned how to be authentic. They became experts at reading other people while remaining strangers to their own energetic language. They learned the temperature of everyone else's emotions but forgot the warmth of their own heart. They could sense when someone was disappointed, angry, jealous, or withdrawing, yet could not recognize when their own spirit was asking for rest. They could explain the behavior of others with remarkable clarity while dismissing their own exhaustion as weakness. This is not a condemnation. It is a compassionate recognition of how many sensitive beings learn to survive. Your awakening begins when you stop asking, "How do they see me?" and begin asking, "What does my field know when I am no longer trying to be seen?" Stay with that question. Allow it to move beneath the need for an immediate answer. Let it follow you into the mirror, into the shower, into the quiet minutes before sleep. What does your field know when no one is evaluating you? What remains when you are not trying to appear wise, attractive, strong, spiritual, agreeable, or mysterious? Beneath all performance, there is a presence that does not need to be decorated. It may be simple, it may be tender, it may be tired, it may be waiting for permission to exist without explanation. You may feel a wave of emotion move through you. You may remember how often you have looked away from your own reflection, not because you disliked your face, but because your reflection carried too much truth. It reminded you of the self you abandoned to survive. It showed you the exhaustion you minimized. It revealed the longing you disguised as ambition. It reflected the part of you that knew there was more, even when you had no evidence that more was possible. Perhaps you saw yourself after a difficult conversation and realized how often you had swallowed your own words. Perhaps you saw your face in a dark window and recognized a sadness you had not allowed yourself to name. Perhaps you avoided photographs because they seemed to capture a version of you that did not match the person you were trying to convince the world you had become. Yet the reflection was not attacking you. It was asking to be included. This is not a command to reject the human experience. It is an invitation to stop treating the human experience as the whole of who you are. Your body is not an obstacle to your awakening. Your face is not a mistake in the design. Your physical presence is the vessel through which your expanded awareness becomes tangible. The soul does not arrive here to escape embodiment. It arrives to infuse embodiment with remembrance. Every expression, every scar, every change in your appearance, every season your body has carried is part of the language through which your consciousness has moved across this timeline. Your hands have held what your heart could not yet release. Your shoulders have carried responsibilities that were never meant to define you. Your feet have continued walking through chapters you once believed would end you. Your face has stood at the entrance of every one of those experiences. It has witnessed endings, beginnings, betrayals, awakenings, and quiet victories. There is no reason to despise the map simply because it shows where you have traveled. The first shift is learning to recognize the distortion. Notice when you look at yourself through inherited criticism rather than direct perception. Notice the voice that immediately searches for what is wrong. Notice how quickly you compare, correct, conceal, and condemn. That voice may sound personal, but it was assembled from countless impressions, family expectations, social conditioning, rejection, images, comments, and moments when you were made to feel that belonging depended on changing yourself. When you catch that voice, do not make it another enemy. It may be the frightened part of you attempting to prevent future rejection by criticizing you first. It may believe that if it identifies every imperfection, no one else can surprise you with their judgment. You can thank it for trying to protect you while still refusing to let it govern your perception. You do not have to fight that voice. Fighting it gives it more energy. Simply observe it as an old frequency passing through the field. Say inwardly, "This perception is present, but it is not the totality of my truth." Then return to your breath. Return to the living awareness behind your eyes. Feel the air enter the body without asking whether you deserve it. Feel the ground beneath you offering support without demanding that you become perfect first. This is how direct perception begins. Not with a dramatic vision, but with the willingness to experience yourself before the judgment arrives. The second shift is remembering that your face carries more than history. It carries choice. Every time you soften instead of react, every time you speak with honesty, every time you refuse to betray your inner knowing for approval, you alter the frequency expressed through your form. Your face changes as your relationship with yourself changes. Not because you have become someone else, but because the layers of defense begin to loosen. The eyes that once searched for danger can begin searching for meaning. The mouth that held back truth can begin forming words that restore dignity. The forehead that carried constant worry can gradually learn the unfamiliar shape of stillness. These changes are not cosmetic. They are signs that energy is no longer being trapped in resistance. This is why awakening can make a person look different without any external explanation. Their eyes become more present. Their expression becomes less divided. The body no longer spends as much energy pretending. There is a coherence that begins to appear when the inner world and outer life stop pulling in opposite directions. People may tell you that you look brighter, calmer, or somehow more like yourself. They may not know that you have stopped negotiating with every passing opinion. They may not know that you have begun sleeping with a clearer conscience, choosing relationships that do not require constant self-erasure, or speaking the truth before resentment has time to harden. But the body knows. The field knows. The face becomes the visible edge of an invisible reconciliation. The third shift is to understand that your sensitivity is part of your perception system. You may have spent years believing that you were too affected by people, places, or conversations. Yet sensitivity, when grounded, allows you to perceive subtle changes in energy before they become obvious in behavior. You notice what is left unsaid. You feel when a space is misaligned. You recognize when someone's words and field do not agree. You may walk into a room and sense tension before anyone raises their voice. You may know that a conversation is ending before the other person finds the courage to say so. You may feel peaceful in one place and strangely exhausted in another, even when nothing visible explains the difference. These impressions are not always instructions, and they are not always complete truths, but they are information. Your task is not to become ruled by every sensation. Your task is to learn how to listen without surrendering discernment. But this gift must be paired with boundaries. You are not required to absorb every signal you detect. You are not required to heal everyone whose pain you can feel. You are not required to make your face endlessly welcoming to those who approach you without respect. A starseed who has not learned energetic boundaries may confuse compassion with self-abandonment. The field becomes crowded with emotions that do not belong to them, and eventually their own expression disappears beneath the weight of everyone else's expectations. Imagine a house with every door and window permanently open. Air can move freely, but so can dust, noise, smoke, and unwanted visitors. Openness without discernment is not spiritual maturity. A sacred space needs thresholds. It needs doors that can close, not from hatred, but from wisdom. Your nervous system, your body, your time, and your attention are sacred spaces. Your face is allowed to rest. Your eyes are allowed to say no. Your presence is allowed to be quiet. You are allowed to leave a room without explaining every movement of your soul. You are allowed to take longer to answer. You are allowed to change your mind when new information arrives. You are allowed to stop offering intimate explanations to people who have repeatedly used your vulnerability against you. None of this makes you cold. It means you are learning the difference between love and limitless access. The fourth shift is the restoration of your inner gaze. Imagine that the awareness behind your eyes is a clear, crystalline point of observation. It does not attack what it sees. It does not immediately label the body as beautiful or unattractive, successful or unsuccessful. It simply witnesses. From this place, you begin to see your face as a living map of experience rather than a problem to solve. Look at yourself for a few moments without searching for approval. Let your eyes meet your own eyes. Notice what happens in the body. Perhaps discomfort rises. Perhaps sadness. Perhaps sadness. Perhaps laughter. Perhaps nothing at all. Whatever appears is information. You are learning to remain present with yourself without turning the encounter into judgment. You might begin with only 10 seconds. Let your gaze rest on one eye, then the other. Notice the color, the movement, the small reflections of light. Notice the breath changing the muscles around your mouth. Do not force yourself to declare that you are beautiful if that statement feels distant. Begin with honesty. I am here. This is my face today. I am learning to remain with myself. Truth is a stronger foundation than forced positivity. This is a quiet form of reclamation. The fifth shift is recognizing why certain memories may be activated through your reflection. A face can become a threshold. When you see yourself clearly, you may remember promises you made before entering this life, not literal sentences stored in ordinary memory, but deep orientations. To protect truth, to bring calm into chaos, to help others remember their own agency, to create where there was stagnation, to remain human without losing contact with the greater field. The memory may arrive as a feeling rather than an image. You may suddenly know that you are meant to work with sound, healing, art, teaching, technology, children, nature, language, or community. You may feel drawn toward a place you have never visited, a body of knowledge you have never studied, or a form of service you cannot yet explain. Do not demand that the entire mission reveal itself at once. The higher pattern unfolds through resonance, not pressure. Often the soul speaks through repetition. A subject keeps returning to your attention. A certain kind of person repeatedly crosses your path. A book appears at the right moment. A dream leaves an emotional imprint long after the details vanish. A quiet desire continues glowing beneath practical obligations. These may be invitations, but they still require discernment. Not every fascination is a calling, and not every obstacle is a sign to stop. The deeper path becomes clearer when you meet it with patience, practical action, and humility. The sixth shift is releasing the belief that your purpose depends on being visibly extraordinary. The face that carries your mission may not resemble the image you expected. You may have imagined that an awakened being would look untouched by struggle, permanently radiant and separate from ordinary life. But multidimensional consciousness does not erase humanity. It brings awareness into the ordinary. It can be found in the tired face that still chooses kindness, the serious expression that protects something precious, the smile that returns after grief, the eyes that keep learning how to trust. Your power is not measured by how mystical you appear. It is measured by how honestly your frequency moves through the life you are actually living. It may move through preparing food with care, keeping a promise, apologizing without manipulation, caring for an elderly relative, finishing work when no one is watching, or refusing to pass pain forward. The universe does not measure significance by spectacle. A candle does not become less sacred because it illuminates only one small room. Sometimes your mission is carried through an ordinary conversation that gives another person permission to remain alive, hopeful, or truthful. The seventh shift is allowing your face to become a signal of consent rather than a mask of performance. Consent to be present. Consent to be unfinished. Consent to evolve without announcing every stage. Consent to let the people who are aligned with your path meet the real rhythm of your being. You no longer need to decorate your truth, so it can be accepted by those committed to misunderstanding it. This does not mean becoming harsh. It means becoming clear. There is a difference between hiding and privacy. There is a difference between rejection and discernment. There is a difference between being inaccessible and no longer offering your energy to every person who demands it. The awakened field is not open to everything. It is open to what is coherent, respectful, and aligned. Clarity may feel uncomfortable at first because people who benefited from your confusion may interpret it as a change in your character. They may say you are distant because you no longer answer immediately. They may say you have changed because you no longer tolerate what once drained you. Let them have their interpretation. You do not have to return to an old version of yourself simply to preserve someone else's access. And now the deeper message begins to emerge. Your face may have been one of the places where your soul marked its arrival, not because the shape of your features determines your fate, but because your expression became a meeting point between your origin and your experience. You came into this life with a certain way of perceiving. You came with a certain intensity of attention. You came with a capacity to notice what others overlook. As you moved through the world, your face became the screen upon which your entire journey was gradually revealed. The confusion, the isolation, the feeling of being watched or misunderstood, the sense that you carried something you could not name, these were not proof that you were broken. They were signs that your inner identity was larger than the role you had been given. But be careful with the old pattern of turning this realization into another reason to separate yourself from humanity. You are not here to become superior to those who do not share your language. You are here to become so grounded in your own truth that you no longer need superiority or validation to feel real. The highest frequencies do not inflate the personality, they stabilize it. They make you more honest, more compassionate, more discerning, and more capable of participating in life without losing your center. If your face is a signal, let it signal presence. Let it signal that someone has returned to their own body. Let it signal that sensitivity does not have to become fear. Let it signal that the past may be visible, but it is not in control. Let it signal that there is a person here who no longer wishes to disappear in order to be loved. Tonight, or the next time you are alone with your reflection, place your hand gently over your heart and look into your own eyes. Do not repeat words you do not feel. Begin with something simple and true. I am willing to meet myself without distortion. Breathe slowly. Let the statement move through the body. Then say, I release the identities I adopted to survive. I welcome the expression that belongs to my present truth. You may not feel an immediate transformation. That is not failure. A field recalibrates through consistency. Each time you see yourself without cruelty, you interrupt an old timeline. Each time you allow your expression to be natural, you restore a fragment of your original signal. Each time you choose alignment over performance, the face you show the world comes closer to the self you have always been beneath the conditioning. Here is what the higher field wants you to understand. You are never required to have a perfect face, to carry a powerful frequency. You were never required to look like an image of awakening. You were never required to convince anyone that your inner world was real. Your face became meaningful because you lived through moments that tried to disconnect you from yourself. And still, something in you remained capable of recognition. That recognition is returning now. You are not being asked to become a stranger to the person in the mirror. You are being asked to stop abandoning that person every time the world offers a new definition of worth. You are being asked to see the body as an ally, the face as a messenger, the eyes as portals of attention, and your presence as a form of communication that does not require permission. The Arcturian current, as it moves through your awareness, is not telling you to escape your life. It is teaching you to bring more consciousness into the life you already have. Wash your face with attention. Walk with attention. Speak with attention. Speak with attention. Notice how your field changes when you stop rehearsing how you will be received. Notice how much energy returns when you no longer monitor every expression for signs that you might be rejected. Your true face is not the one that pleases everyone. It is the one that no longer needs to disappear. And if tears come, let them come. They may be releasing years of looking at yourself through the eyes of people who could not see you. If anger rises, listen without becoming it. It may be the part of you that remembers how often you were asked to betray your own perception. If peace arrives, do not question it because it feels unfamiliar. Peace may be the frequency your system has been waiting to recognize. You are not late. You are not disqualified. You are not too ordinary to carry a remarkable mission. The signal has been present through every version of you. It was present when you were confused. It was present when you were pretending. It was present when you believed you had lost yourself. The awakening is not the creation of a new soul. It is the gradual removal of everything that taught you to look away from the one already here. Before you scroll, take a moment to be part of what's forming here. Drop one intention in the comments, something real. Then respond to someone else's with encouragement or energy. This isn't content, it's collective alignment. Energy multiplies when intention connects. If something in this message resonated, don't keep it to yourself. Someone in your orbit is waiting for this exact activation. share it. And if you felt a soul nudge, subscribe. Stay in the flow. You're not just watching, you're expanding. This is your space, and we're just getting started.